I couldn't eat. Like food sounded terrible. And when I did eat, it was like I was literally trying to force it down. I remember having a bagel in the morning and I just could not even swallow the food. Then lunch would come and I'm like, nothing sounds good. What should I do? You know, I cooked a pizza and I had like 2 slices. Usually I would eat the whole thing. I've always had a big appetite. Um, so I wasn't eating and I wasn't sleeping. And that's when I started to get really scared. Like everything for my health was good, but I just still felt so bad and I couldn't figure out why. Um, you know, I've been pacing around the house. I had the inability to relax. You know, I barely even wanted to sit down and eat dinner. You know, I'd rather be standing and walking around. Going to bed was just a huge task. Um, I would I would go to sleep and then I'd wake up in the middle of the night with my heart pounding, just pounding out of my chest, like night sweats. I'd go to the bathroom and I would like come to lay down and I just wouldn't be able to fall back asleep, and it was just endless nights of insomnia. Hi, this is Jaren. Try and keep this as coherent as possible. It's kind of a long story, but I think it's an important one to share, and one I really wanted to get out there. I don't think there's enough people that tell their story, and I think the more people that tell their story, the further as a community we can make it. So let me start with saying that I was on Propecia for 7 years with 0 side effects. I've been off of it close to 3 months now, and it's been quite a 3 months, and it took it took some luck to kind of figure out what had happened to me. I was kind of lost and searching for answers, and until I discovered what PFS was. Originally, back when I started Propecia, I was in my 20s, and I'd heard of PFS, or Post-Finasteride Syndrome, but I really thought that it was, I thought it revolved around side effects that you get when starting the drug. And I never thought discontinuing the drug could also cause problems as well. So, about 3 months ago is when all my trouble began. I had a toothache, and I had to go into, took like 7 appointments. I was on a bunch of medicine for this toothache, and I guess the backstory here is about 3 years ago, I went through, I withdrew off of a nerve medication called gabapentin. And my body became kind of sensitive to medications after that. So I pretty much, at this time, I quit all drinking. I quit everything. I was clean. The only thing I put in my body was food and water. And life was just better for me that way. I knew I would have no interactions with medicines. If I drank, it would make me feel bad for weeks at a time, and I'd really have to pay the price for things I put into my body after, going through the gabapentin withdrawal. The only thing that I stayed on was the finasteride for this whole time. So anyways, I have all these dentist appointments. I'm taking all these medicines that my body's not used to. And so I just decided at this time that I was going to stop taking the finasteride. I didn't really care about my hair anymore. I had a girlfriend who I loved, I've been in a long-term relationship with, and I'm getting older. I'm in my mid-30s now. I just figured, hair is not as important as it once was. So I stopped taking this medication, and within two weeks, I stopped taking this medication. I started feeling really bad. I blamed it on all the drugs I was taking. I took a benzo before my root canal. I was getting injected with, nerve blocks and all these things. I just figured it was my sensitive system and I was having a bad reaction. I had 7 appointments for a single tooth. Um, but I just couldn't ignore how bad I was feeling and how long it was lasting. I felt like I was going crazy. I was pacing around my house. I wasn't sleeping at all. I was completely wired. And one day things were bad, and I think I started to feel a little bit better maybe a month after I stopped taking the finasteride. And at this point I said, well, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm feeling a little bit better now. I'm gonna get back on the finasteride. So I took a single pill. And after I took that pill, I had immediate regret. I'm like, why am I getting back on medication? I actually threw up, and I'd been feeling nauseous even prior to this, but I just didn't. I decided I didn't want to take the finasteride at all. So I decided to throw it up, and I got a little blood in my throat when I was throwing up. I think it was just from the pressure of throwing up, and so I said, okay, I'm gonna go to the hospital tomorrow. Like, I'm gonna get checked out. I feel too weird right now. I got blood in my throat from throwing up. I'm just gonna go and make sure everything's okay. So the very next morning, I went to the ER. I got an EKG done. I had a chest X-ray done. I had blood drawn. Everything came back perfect. She said, "Yeah, you're good to go." I left, and I didn't really feel any better. I didn't feel better at all, knowing that everything was okay, because I knew deep down, that something was wrong. I called my mom. I let her know that I went to the ER, and she asked me the same thing. She's like, "Do you feel better?" And I'm like, "Not really." And it was this week that things kind of got exponentially worse. I think I had stopped sleeping. I was still working up until this time, and then I took a few days off of work, and food. Here was my main indication that things were progressing. I couldn't eat. Like, food sounded terrible, and when I did eat, it was like I was literally trying to force it down. I remember having a bagel in the morning, and I just could not even swallow the food. Then lunch would come, and I'm like, nothing sounds good. What should I do? I cooked a pizza, and I had like 2 slices. Usually I would eat the whole thing. I've always had a big appetite. So I wasn't eating, and I wasn't sleeping, and that's when I started to get really scared. So that weekend, me and my girlfriend, we decided to come to my parents. So we hopped in the car. We drove like 24 hours out here, and I didn't even think I would make it. Like, that's how out of it I was. I wasn't sleeping. I was like, I think we stopped for 2 nights on the drive out here, and I slept for maybe a total of 2 hours the whole way. And yeah, I got home, and I just I didn't know what was happening to me. I was wondering, okay, like, do I have an infection going on? Is my tooth still causing issues? And yeah, I went to get more x-rays of my tooth, and they said the root canal had failed, and that I could either do another root canal or have the tooth pulled. So, and then I also had an infection in my sinus from the tooth. So I got the tooth pulled, and then I went back, and everything was healing up good. The tooth was recovering. The infection in the sinus has gone away. Like, everything for my health was good, but I just still felt so bad, and I couldn't figure out why. I've been pacing around the house. I had the inability to relax. I barely even wanted to sit down and eat dinner. You know, I'd rather be standing and walking around. Going to bed was just a huge task. Um, I would go to sleep, and then I'd wake up in the middle of the night with my heart pounding, just pounding out of my chest, like night sweats. I'd go to the bathroom, and I would like come to lay down, and I just wouldn't be able to fall back asleep, and it was just endless nights of insomnia. And things started to get a little bit better, at least with regards to sleep. For like a week or two, I started sleeping again, and then it felt like, you know, things were getting worse and worse. And then one day I was in the shower, and I noticed that I was developing testicular pain, and it was really crazy to me, all the things I was going through. And then now I'm having this random pain, and I was really sensitive. And so I was considering, you know, making an appointment with a urologist, and I'm just asking myself, you know, why are all these things happening to me at the same time? Like, why is why am I'm losing my mind, I'm losing my body's deteriorating, like what has happened? And at this time, I kind of put together that I had a few other more minor sexual side effects, but certainly, you know, when I combined those with the testicular pain, and you know, it was a little worrisome. So at this time, I still did not have post-finasteride on the mind. Actually, had a little knee pain at the top of my knee, and I was Googling it, and I came across pectoral femoral pain syndrome. Shares the same acronym as post-finasteride syndrome. When I saw post-finasteride syndrome, I was like, no way. I was like, I just got off that medication. So I started looking into it. Then when I saw the neuro side effects, the physical side effects, the sexual side effects, and you know how this can all start after you discontinue the medication, my heart sank. I was like, wow, I just, you know, I found my answer. You know, I found out what happened to me. And, you know, it was it was hard to read, though, because you know, so many of these cases end bad. There's so much negative out there when you read about this, just the words they use: devastating effects, permanent, and it's just scary, especially when you feel like you're dealing with a bad case. So that's how I discovered post-finasteride syndrome, and it discovered what happened to me, essentially. So as of right now, some things have gotten better. I mean, I don't have a ton of hope, but I'm going based off of that. Some things have gotten better, that I hope maybe other things can get better too. My sexual side effects are all completely resolved. My insomnia, I've been sleeping pretty good. So in the past 3 weeks, I've only had one night of bad sleep. Otherwise, you know, my insomnia is resolved. The pacing around, it has not been quite as bad. I'm relaxing a little bit more, you know, watching movies, and just actually sitting down a little bit. Doesn't sound huge, but you know, for me, it's great. What's still bad would be my top 3 symptoms are my nausea. I'm not nauseous all day, but certainly, you know, I am at points in the day. You know, sometimes I feel like maybe I need to eat, and maybe that will help. And then after I eat, it doesn't help. Sometimes I actually have to go, just not completely throw up, but like spit up a little bit, you know, once or twice a week. I have definitely have a lot of neuro issues. I'll get headaches, you know, behind my eyes. I'll hear it's not tinnitus, but it's like crackling kind of in my ears. just a lot of strange little neuro symptoms that are kind of hard to explain, but I just know, something's, chemically something's not right now. And then I have a lot of body aches and cracks. So maybe myalgia. I frequently use like a Theragun all over my body. I haven't used it in the past couple of days, but I've noticed when I wake up in the morning, that's when I feel like I'm most sore, and like I need to crack all my knuckles, and just feel like I need to crack my whole body. And then I kind of feel a little bit better when I get out of bed, but still not doing great. I feel like I'm 3 months out, and I just don't know right now. Like I can't say for certain, like I'm going to beat this, like things are going to be okay. I'm still kind of at that point where I'm wondering, okay, am I deteriorating further? Is this going to just continue to get worse? Is it going to stay where it's at right now, or is it going to get better? And I just kind of hang on to that hope that, the sexual side effects went away, and the insomnia is better, that, maybe I can recover, partially. And I would say from here, that's really what I want to be. I want to be that bad story that got better, and can kind of be, a beacon of hope for others in the community. Obviously, I'm not sure that's going to be the case, but I pray it is, and I'm going to do everything in my power for that to happen. So right now, I'm just going to try and keep stress down. I've been off of work for 7 or 8 weeks now. Don't plan on returning to work until I feel better. I just want to make sure I continue to sleep and not stress out. I'm gonna do light exercise, just maybe 20 or 30 minutes on the bicycle every day at the gym, and then just try and remain positive, and spread awareness, and do things like donate to the PFS network, and just put a video out like this, basically anything in my power to kind of move the needle on this. So if you made it this far, thanks for listening. I just really wanted to tell my story, and let you know what happened to me. And if you're going through the same thing, just know that I'm praying for you, and I hope that we can all beat this together. Thank you.